Long, long ago, in a quiet village nestled at the edge of a deep, dark forest, lived a gentle boy named Arin. His heart was as pure as the morning sun, and his days were filled with the laughter of friends and the love of family. In his home, a small wooden hut filled with warmth and light, there was always an extra helping of food for any stray animal and a kind word for all living things. His most loyal companion was a ginger cat with eyes like molten gold. They say Miko was no ordinary feline. No, sir. He was a forest spirit, a guardian sent to watch over Arin and guide him through life's winding paths. Now, one night as Arin sat by the fireplace, the air thick with the scent of pine and wood smoke, he heard it, a low growl that seemed to shake the very foundations of his little house. Miko, who had been dozing by the hearth, suddenly shot to his feet, his golden eyes blazing with an otherworldly light. He let out a hiss that sounded like shattering glass and darted to the door, his whole body trembling with a wild energy. Arin, his heart pounding like a drum, peered through the wooden shutters. Outside, under the pale glow of the moon, he saw it, a large, menacing shadow that seemed to writhe and twist like a living nightmare. It was a tiger, big and fierce, its stripes glowing like embers in the darkness, its eyes burning with an insatiable hunger. The beast had wandered too close to their home, seeking warmth and perhaps unaware of the danger it posed. Fear threatened to consume Arin, but then he felt something warm and furry brush against his leg. Looking down, he saw Miko, his golden eyes boring into his own, urging him to be brave. "Miko," Arin whispered, his voice shaking. "What should I do?" Miko didn't answer with words, but his gaze was clear and resolute. He was telling Arin to be bold, to stand firm against the darkness that threatened their home. Taking a deep breath, Arin forced himself to steady his trembling hands. He roamed family stories of ancient wisdom, tales passed down through generations, whispered by the firelight on nights much like this one. Stories of how animals respected courage and cleverness more than fear. Summoning all his strength, he picked up some sticks from the fireplace, holding them high like torches. The flames danced and flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Then, with a voice stronger than he felt, he shouted, "Back, beast, and don't enter our home." The tiger paused, its ears twitching, its eyes narrowed. But then it let out a roar, loud and thundering, shaking the very foundations of the little house. The sound echoed through the forest, a primal challenge that sent shivers down Arin's spine. It was a warning, a test, a challenge to his courage. The beast took another step forward, and Arin knew he had to act fast. In a flash of inspiration, he rushed to the windowsill and planted the torches into the ground, forming a circle of fire around their home. The flames crackled and hissed, casting an otherworldly glow on the clearing. Behind him, Miko stood proudly, his tail high, his eyes gleaming with determination. He let out a hiss that sounded like a war cry, defending his home and the boy he loved. The tiger hesitated, its eyes fixed on the flames. For a moment, it seemed as though it would charge forward, claws outstretched, ready to pounce. Then, just as suddenly, it stopped. A low growl rumbled in its chest, a sound of frustration and fear. The tiger circled the fire, keeping a safe distance from the flames. It paced back and forth, its eyes never leaving the dancing lights. Arin held his breath, his whole body tense with anticipation. He didn't know how long they could stand their ground, how much longer the tiger would keep pacing, but he knew he couldn't falter now. He had to stay strong for himself, for Miko, and for the home they shared. Then, as quickly as it had appeared, the tiger vanished back into the forest, its shadow swallowed by the darkness, leaving behind only the crackling of the fire and the beating of Arin's heart. He leaned against the door, his body shaking with exhaustion and adrenaline. Miko rubbed against his legs, purring softly, and for a moment, the only sound was the crackling of the fire. As dawn broke, painting the sky with hues of pink and orange, Arin emerged from his house. The forest was silent, the air still and peaceful. The fire had burned out, leaving behind only a pile of ashes and a faint smell of smoke. He looked around, half expecting to see the tiger, but it was nowhere to be found. Had it really been a dream? Had he truly faced a tiger and survived? He walked to the edge of the clearing and stared into the forest, The trees seemed to loom over him, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers. He could hear the rustle of leaves, the chirping of birds, the distant call of a woodpecker, but there was no sign of the tiger. Suddenly, he felt a nudge on his leg. Looking down, he saw Miko, his golden eyes shining with amusement. The cat rubbed against his leg, then trotted into the forest, disappearing into the underbrush. Arin smiled, his heart filled with gratitude and a sense of wonder. He knew he wasn't just a gentle boy living in a quiet village. No, he was a hero, a protector, a friend to animals, and a master of his own destiny. He might not have weapons or armor, but he had something far more powerful. The courage to face his fears, the kindness to help others, and the love of a loyal companion. From that day forward, their house was more than a home. It was a sanctuary, a place where a boy and his cat had proven that love and bravery could conquer even the fiercest of beasts. They say in the quiet village, nestled at the edge of the deep, dark forest, there is a house with glowing windows and a hearth that burns with eternal flames. And those who listen closely can still hear the whispers of a boy and his cat, reminding them that even in the darkest of nights, courage can shine through. And so the legend of Arin and Miko, the boy and the cat who faced the tiger, echoed through the ages, inspiring hope and bravery in the hearts of all who heard it. If you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more enchanting stories. Until next time, may your days be filled with sunshine and your nights with starlight. And remember, even the smallest of voices can make the biggest difference.